Welcome back to Falkirk Figures, where today, as you can see, I've finally received back my 9-figure order from UK Graders. So obviously, this is a huge box. This is one that I'm going to have to just get on the ground, I think, and take the figs out one at a time. I've already opened up the top to try and remove the outer packaging, if you like, but they've packaged this one up pretty well, I've got to say, and a lot of the graded figures inside are taped together with cardboard separators, so this might be one where I have to stop and start the video a few times just to get the packaging undone. I didn't want to take too much, I didn't want to see any grades or anything before I react to them in the video, but as I say, there's so much packaging in there that it's going to be tough to keep this pretty smooth, but we'll do our best. So I'm going to start chucking this on the floor. Well, I say chucking, I mean very gently placing it on the floor. And we'll see what I can pull out. So, as I said, there are 9 figures in here. The 9 figures there are 7 of them are WWF Hasbro, and there are 2 Playmates Ninja Turtles. Now, it feels, as I sort of rumble around the packaging, it feels like literally all of them are taped together, I think. So, yeah, this one could be tricky. So, if I can locate my trusty knife that I thought I had to hand, and I do, here it is, I'll see if I can get these guys out one at a time. Just to kind of show you, I suppose, what I'm dealing with here. That's what I'm dealing with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, everything's there, taped together. I don't think there's anything separate. So I will try and get these apart and go through them one at a time, but it may be a bit of a process. So no idea at all what's coming first. I'll just have to see. Oh dear, that's not the best noise for the camera to pick up. No idea what's coming first, so I'm just going to have to undo them and see what I get. But I think I'm actually going to stop the video at this point just to try and get the bulk of that tape and cardboard at least loosened off, and then I'll open up the bubble wrap one at a time. Okay, so making some kind of progress at least. I have, I think this is it looks like 2 Hasbros that are stuck together. So I will try and get these guys separated and see how we go with these. It looks like they're in, when it's taped together, they're in the same bubble wrap wallet as well. Yeah, they are. Okay, so that may make things slightly easier. I don't have to undo 2 lots of bubble wrap. Right, first one is out, and the first one is a SummerSlam card, Superfly Jimmy Snuka, and he has received an 80 grade. That's actually decent. I thought that would grade about 80 because the bubble's dented at the very, very top. There's a dent in the bubble, I think. Yeah, so that's not a bad result, I think. Snuka, 80 grade, happy with that. Take that. SummerSlam card, so slightly more rare than just the normal release of Snuka. Yeah, not a bad start, I suppose. So here's who he was tied up tight with in the packaging, and it is this guy. A guy I've had graded recently as well, actually. I think I got a gold grade from RWG recently from this guy, Tito Santana. So Tito's come back pretty decent. Tito is an 85. He has, nearly a 90 as well. It's got 85 card, 90 for bubble, and 90 for figure. So that's quite a good return for Tito. Tito, not the most desirable figure, really. Not a guy that many people are keen to get their hands on. but always good to get an 85 grade back from UKG when you're dealing with a Hasbro's at least. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop the video again and try and uncut a few more, and then I'll come back to you in a second. So actually a decent little segue here, because from the Hasbro's we're going to go straight into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So first guy I've got here is Storage Shell Leonardo. Man, Leo's come back an 80 grade. That's disappointing. I thought he was a decent. What has he got? He's got 80 card, 80 bubble, 90 figure. I think with the Turtles, the biggest thing with them is the bubble. I think the bubbles are hard to keep in good shape because a lot of the Turtles that get graded come by 80, and it tends to be the bubble that lets them down. But he was a nice looking card, so slightly disappointed by that, but is what it is, I suppose. And my second Turtle figure is one I'm a bit more excited about. That is this guy. That is Splinter, but it is an original 10 back soft head Splinter. So one of the very, very first waves. Now, slightly disappointed it doesn't say that. It doesn't say soft head on the label. Card 85, bubble 80, figure 90. He is a soft head though, so it would be nice to have that reference on the label. But yeah, again, it's obviously the bubble that brings the Turtle grades down. It's hard to get them in good shapes, particularly given how old they are now. But again, it's kind of what you expect. All the Turtles I've had graded from UKG recently have all come back 80 grades, so not a huge surprise. But anyway, I'll stick him at the other side. Move Tito across. Move Jimmy across. There we go. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the cutting room floor and try and unsnip some of my graded Hasbro's. So back in a second. Okay, so I have now managed to sort of detach all the other packages from each other. I've got five more Hasbro's to unbox. Looks like the single Hasbro's are packed together in twos, as Tito and Jimmy were. And the last one I've got is a tag team. Sorry, spoiler alert for that. There's a tag team at the end which are wrapped up individually, so that's a bit easier. But yeah, so hopefully it'll be a bit more straightforward from here on out. So right, okay, so the next guy I've got, I was slightly concerned about him because when I was packing them all up together, I thought he was in good shape, but when I was packing them all up together, I noticed he was slightly, just ever so slightly faded compared to the other Hasbro's that I was sending off. So I'm not entirely sure how that's going to affect his grade. And that is this guy, Mr. Perfect. So it's not too bad actually. He's come back an 80 grade. I was a bit concerned that Perfect maybe come back like a low grade, like a 75 or 70, because I just thought comparing them to, I mean, you don't really notice it there, but I just thought it was a tiny, just a little bit faded, like a little bit lighter than the rest of the Hasbro's that I was sending off. But no, to get an 80 grade for Perfect, I'm happy with that. I honestly thought he might have come back as a 75 or a 70, so yeah, really happy that he's got an 80. Once I was packing him up and I noticed it, but I'd already sort of placed the order and had the confirmation printed off, so I thought, well, I'll have to send him now. But I wasn't holding my breath about what he was going to come back with. So, and the guy that he was packed up with together nice and tight was this man right here. So this is Coco Beware. This is quite a decent one actually. This is a good fig to have. A lot of people want this fig. And oh, just like Perfect though, he's gone by 80. Oh, he's got 75 subgrade. That doesn't make much sense. It's card 75. Similar, that's the same thing with Akeem. When I got Akeem graded, like he came out with a really low card grade, and I was like, why? I don't understand why he's got 75 card grade, but overall 80 for Coco Beware. Sorry, so I don't think I've been showing you the grading labels, but Coco's got an overall 80. So not a tragic result. It could be slightly better, but it could certainly be worse. So not a horrible result so far. So I suppose I have tried to sort of save, even though I said I would just pull them out in whatever order I got my hands on them. Once I realised which were which, I have kind of tried to save the bigger ones till last. Not necessarily because they're like the more rare figures or anything, but just because these are the guys that I kind of had higher hopes grade wise for. So again, all Hasbro's. This is double taped. I'm going to have to cut that tape. My apologies. There we go. All Hasbro's, remaining WWF Hasbro's. And the next guy I've got, I've actually mentioned him. I've actually talked about him in a previous video because I bought this guy to unbox. I bought him to unbox in my $1 Million Corporation video, but when the card arrived, I just couldn't do it. I thought it was in such nice shape that it wasn't really the type of card I wanted to be unboxing. So, and that's this guy here, IRS. But looking at the grade, man, how wrong I was. 80 grade. So what? 80. Yeah, 80 card, 85 bubble, 80 figure. I don't know if you can see that. 80 figure. I don't know why that's an 80 figure. What's wrong with them? I have no idea. I don't know what's happened there. But yeah, so he's come back 80 overall. So 80 card, 85 bubble, 80 figure. And that's strange. I did not expect that at all. That is disappointing. That is really disappointing, actually, because I thought, yeah, he was going to be an 85 anyway, and potentially up to a 90. But that is disappointing, I suppose, for IRS. But the next, I'm not saying the next one's going to be a 90, but I'm going to say if any of the figures that I sent away were going to get a 90, it was probably this guy. This guy probably had the best chance of grading 90, and he's probably out of the lot that I sent away, he's probably the most rare as well, probably the most desirable one, and that is this man right here, the Berserker. So the Berserker, well, he has got 90 subgrades, but he's come back 85. So 85, 85, 90, 85 card, 85 bubble. And again, I don't really understand that because his card is immaculate. It really is immaculate. And to get an 85, which is the same as, like, I think Tito got an 85 card. Who else? Did Jimmy get an 85 card? It's a bit confusing. There's obviously like set criteria that they have to follow, but again, it confuses me. I'm not entirely sure what it is. But yeah, but I suppose that's not a bad return. Not a bad return to get an 85 for the Berserker. It's a good figure, a figure that people want. And 85 is a good grade, so yeah, I did kind of think there was an outside chance of that coming back 90, but nah, not surprised to see it get 85, so happy enough with that. I'll take that. And then the last one, the headline act, if you like, from this order. Now, I'm not as optimistic grade wise for these guys. As I say, it is a tag team, spoiler alert. I'm not as optimistic. I don't think they've got a chance of a 90, to be perfectly honest. But I think they may be 85. I think they might get an 85. And an 85 grade on this tag team is a very nice result. But even an 80, I think if they get an 80, again, that's not tragic. That's not the end of the world. I think it could be decent. So, and that is Animal and Hawk, the Legion of Doom. And they've graded 80. Oh man, again, 80 card, 85 bubble, 90 figure though, 90 subgrade. Like overall, do you know what I'm thinking though? When I look at these guys, I mean, Coco has it, Perfect had it, the LOD have it. Is it the hook? Is it this little, like, I don't know if you can, I'll move the camera. The hook gets that little kind of, I don't know, what is it, sun damaged or just that little kind of darker tint to it, darker shade to it. Is that why they're grading the cards how they are? I don't know. Because these cards, like, obviously, when you send something away to get graded, it's because you think it's immaculate. You know, you think it's really nice. And to come back with some of these grades, I just think is really disappointing, I suppose. But I mean, 80 grade LOD overall, that's a good result. I mean, people would want that. People would want to have an 80 grade LOD mint on card. So no complaints there. But yeah, I did have sort of higher hopes for most of these figs. Generally speaking, I think a couple of good results. Berserker 85 is a good result. Tito getting an 85 as well is a decent result. And as I said, Perfect, I thought Perfect was in danger of getting a low score. So to get him back as an 80, I'm happy with that. So overall, the lowest score I got was an 80, but obviously the highest I got was 85s. And from a 9-figure haul, I think that's a decent return. I'll take that. Nothing outstanding, nothing fantastic, but nothing tragic either. So yeah, I think generally speaking, have to be happy with that return. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed that, please share the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit notifications, leave me a comment, and let me know what you think. I know a lot of people that I interact with on Facebook have got orders at UKG or coming back from UKG at the same time. So let me know how you think your grades went. And other than that, stay safe and we'll speak soon.